previous class we saw how to trigger APIs from front end to back end to end. So we tried fetch all the records, and it was through get request. Get request we have used here in the service file. So give the endpoint, it fetches all the records, and this EMP data service is called from here through a constructor. Constructor calls the service, initialize the variable which is EMPS, and then on our HTML page we use the for loop let e of EMPs. That's a sentence of using for loop in Angular, or basically in TypeScript, because Angular by default uses TypeScript. And then we have a table tag here. That's how it populates the data. Likewise, we also hit post request, how to send data from front end to back end. That's what we did. And then we also saw how to send delete call. There we used a different approach. We passed our data in a URL, delete the EMP API URL slash the ID, and that ID goes to backend like this. So, EMP slash ID. So that's how it works. Okay, today we will see some basics of Angular, not much in detail, but whatever we did so far, kind of conclude that. Okay, so here I'll say basic TypeScript for Angular. Okay, so whatever we have used, I'm going to conclude here. So here I'll include, we will first of all see data types. Data types in TypeScript in TS I'm writing in short. Okay, so here we saw we can use number as a type. We also used string. Apart from these two variables, which is quite common among multiple languages, we can also use Boolean. And if you're not sure what should I use, you can also use any. So that's how it works. So let's suppose I have to create a function. Okay, let's do one thing. Stop the service, close all the files. Let's get one more component for TypeScript functionality, just some basic functionality, not much in detail. Okay, so let's create src. Let's create that component inside this app. So ng generate component, and I'll say basics. Okay, that's the name of component, basics. Enter. So definitely we'll get 4 files and 1 update in module file. Cool, working same. Basics is here, so I just needed its HTML and the TS file. I need this tag app hyphen basics, and we will use this here. Paste tag called from here, cut it and paste here. Okay, nice. And if I run this code, so we should see on a web page basics works. Okay, compiled successfully. And if I check, reload the page, oops, basics works. Great. Okay, so new component gets called. Fine. So if I create any function here, so let's say get me data, that's going to be a function name. So here I can say item, then number, right? And it will work. And here I can simply say console dot log item, right, and semicolon. Done. And always format your code. Okay, it is working, and I can call this directly or through HTML tag, whatever, but it will work. Or not, I can use a constructor call like we did earlier, and I can say get me data, and I'll pass 5. Okay, file saved. Going back to web page. Okay, I'm not calling that function here. It's on console. Okay, loading this page again, and here you can see item equals to 5, right? 5 is printed. What if I have to pass some string? Not an issue. I can pass. Now I'm good. Now notice here string data. Now it is giving error, right? What it says,
Yeah.
argument of type string is not assignable of to parameter of type number. That's correct. So I need to create a function, a new function, or you can change it. So let's say item, a string item. Okay, and let's change the type, small s string, get me string data. Okay, cool. And let's copy and rename here. Error is gone, and string item is passed here. String item file saved. If I go back, now I can see item 5, item string data. Okay, so that's how we pass multiple parameters, or we can have multiple types. What if I'm not sure what's the type? That is also possible.
Any.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So I'll create one more function. I'll say get me any data. Right. New method or function, and here I won't mention a type. I'll just say any. We have used this earlier, right? Somewhere we had in API call. I guess we use this any item, and I can say get me any data. This now I can pass. It will work. This is working, and let's say true. Okay, I'm calling it 3 times and reload. Here it is ADS 5 true. Everything is working fine, right? So we are getting data, and that's how we give type. And we have also used boolean here, true. So by default it knows that it has a boolean, so it accordingly converts that data. Fine. And what if you have to deal with object types, right? So how we can do that? You have to create a function which takes something in a different way, like let's say get object data. Function goes here like this, and I can say my object. Okay, watch it. My object, then colon. Now I'll say id goes to, let's say, 5 comma. But if I give it this way, it will be a problem. Or let's do one thing. If I let me try to create it outside. If I get this way, it will be an issue for the current page as well. Okay, okay, and then I'll say my object equals color base id equals to 1. Let's say number. Okay, 10 console.log, and here I'll print that object. This, not this, my object, my object. Okay, let's see how it comes up. I forgot to call this function. Let's do this here. File saved, and see how it is coming up. Object, and then it has a data ID, and ID equals to 10. So what I did initially, I said that my object is of any type, and then inside it I have created this object and gave it will have ID of number type. What if I need two arguments? So I can say ID name of string type, string here, save, and then I'll create one more variable like this. It will be name equals let's say, yeah, this is saved, and then if I run this code, I can see it has two parameters or objects. I mean object has two fields or properties, ID 10, name Kiran. Can I give any random which is not present in that object? Let's try. Let's say age equals 23. Okay, no issue, no error, and yep, I can get it here. See, age is also coming. So if you want, you can give it upfront that these are the fields I'm expecting, or if you want to change it, it is also possible that you can also give your own variables here like this way. Clear? This is one of the simplest way to create object and then assign fields to it. And it is possible only in TypeScript. You cannot do this in Java, right? You have to mention
Mhm.
it for at first place that this is my class and it will have these fields. You cannot just create any field dynamically. You cannot say object or something which is not present in class. You have to first of all define that field or property inside the class, right? And this is just a variable things which works fine. Let me take this code from here. So we just did some basic thing in which is actually possible in Java, sorry, in JavaScript, sorry, TypeScript through variables. Okay, let's make it 10. Fine. And the reason I'm using constructor because constructor loads first, so it will call those functions without calling it explicitly. Otherwise, I have to create some buttons, then click some event. Only then these gets called. So if you put this thing in constructor, that's the first thing gets called by the Angular or the browser stuff. Okay, and how it looks on the page like this. This part till here. Okay, so it was just a demo how variables can be used in Angular. Fine. Next paint. Oh, not this one. Here we will see, not this one. Okay, so now we will see pipes. Okay, pipe operators or how pipe works in Angular. So we'll say basics of uh, TypeScript pipes in Angular. So we have to first of all know what these pipes are. Font is going big. Let's make it 14. Okay. So we use pipes. Or let's make it can be used with HTML pages. Fine. To do some operations. So we will see what kind of these operations are. So think about you are in HTML page. Okay, let's do that. Let's go on HTML. So I'm going here, and right now it is in p tag. Let's make it h1, so it will come big. File saved, and okay. So right now it's fine. We don't need console. Let can close it. Okay. So let's suppose I want to convert this basic tabs or basic works in capitals. Okay. Think how I can do that. Can you guess? We can use pipes.
Mm,
We can use pipes.
so
Okay. So what I'll do to make it work in proper state, let's print this. I mean, I'll create a variable. Here, let's create a variable. Let's say page title. Okay. So create a variable title on of string type, and mm, let's put anything. So we're learning basics of TypeScript. So let's say basics of TypeScript. That's my variable. And if I have to call it, I can use interpolation, right? Interpolation I can use double curly braces, and here I write title. Fine. The file saved, and if I see, that's what comes up. Fine. Let me make it 100 to its original position. Okay, basic TypeScript. Now what if I want to convert in capitals, capital letter? So let's try this again. H1 tag. Definitely it goes here, and then I write title, and I mentioned pipe. So after this, I'll use a pipe operator. Okay, this pipe,
Okay.
and then we have to write uppercase.
Yes.
Okay, file saved, no compile issue. And if I go back, see, it is coming out. Everything is capital. So what we used a pipe operator. It works. Let's suppose I want to convert in a small letter. Same way, HTML. Again, uh, interpolation. Then I'll use title. Then, what's my bad? Title, pipe, and this time I write lowercase. File saved, no compilation issue. That is, everything is small. B is small, T is also small. So working great, right? So what we just used pipe operator. But you know what? We can do the same stuff by writing logic as well. Think I have to write a logic for it. So let's do that. Okay, so think about we have used a pipe operator which has a logic written. Definitely it is reading something and then convert it to upper or lower. Same way we can also write a logic. So let's do that. So what I'll do, I'll create a function. Here I'll say, let's say I want to write a convert to uppercase. Okay, so I'll say that's going to my function name. Convert to uppercase. It will take a argument of string type. So I'll say data of string, because that's what we do. We convert string to upper or lower. So argument would be of string type. Fine, and here we will write that logic, and writing will be logic will be simpler. Okay, not that tough or think okay how it will work. Simple enough. I'll write a return. It's of string type, so it has a method there or a function. I can simply write data dot to or lower or uppercase. There it is. I can use a function. Done. Fine. Or if you want a new function, I can copy it, and I'll write this time convert to lowercase. Lowercase. And this time we are calling a function on string. It's a like we have a lots of functions in Java on string class,
Yeah.
length and size. That same way here we have lots of function for string class. And then we write to lower case and goes up. Done. So instead of using that pipe operator, we can write our own methods, our own classes. And then we'll go back to existing page. Here I will write again in a h1 text. Let's use HR tag for now and write h1 tag. This here I'll write that function name. So it's convert to uppercase. Copy it, paste it, and then I will pass here that title. Okay, file saved. No compilation issue. Going back and see, still we are getting converted, right?
Mhm.
And then I can write copy paste it to lowercase, same title, file saved. Yeah. So either you can use pipe operator and or you can use write your own logic. So which one is better? What do you think?
Pipes like they're short and not take less time.
Correct, right? We are not spending time writing these kind of things.
Okay.
So and that takes space and it will make it more efficient. So if we have something, why you are writing again the same code, right? So That's one of the features of pipe operator. We can write multiple pipe operations on it, and then we have lots of, you can say, functions out there which can be used as a with pipe operator. Like first we have a date operations. So if you convert that date, it can be also get converted into some format. So if you have some date, you can, if you want to be in more specific format, that can also try. Okay. So I'll suggest if you want, you can go,
Day, month type, right?
yeah, that way. So either you can D M or Y, right? Or someone says no, I want MM, DD, Y. Or someone says no, I want this whole thing, uh, DD, Y, and then I want hours, minutes, and second. Multiple formats are there, so you can do all these things by using pipe operators. So that's your homework. Try this out. Oops. Okay. Try date operator with pipe. See how it works. Okay, fine. Now this is okay. I need a code, so I can copy this code. Okay, so we can also use one more operator or pipe operator, which is date. So for that, let's create a variable today, then new date, like we do in Java, same way, and sorry, not colons, equals. So variable of type date is there. If I have to print it, I can write h1 tag and interpolation. I can write today. File saved, and that's how it looks. So it gives all the information plus times and information. And if I want to make it shorter, so I can use pipe. And now, like we have used uppercase, lowercase, one more operator is date. So just write date and it will give a simplified date, January 27, 2025. Um, there's one more possibility. If you want some want to give some more information to that pipe operator, how you can filter out or how you can give us that information, I can do what? After just date, I can mention colon. Then there is a parameter which I can pass. I'll say full date. File saved. And if I go back, see, it gives day, month, date, and the year. Okay, so it gives all the information about today's date. So that's how we can use pipe operator. I can copy this. Let's go to paint. So just give you a brief idea how we can play along with these pipe operators. Again, there's no limit. You can use multiple things, multiple pipe operators, or yeah, if you want, you can create your own um, pipes as well. We haven't used our own pipes. We just wrote some logic. But if what if you want to write your own logic to create a pipe operator, kind of? You want to create your own pipe. Think about that way, custom pipes. So you can do that. So we will see that as well today. So we are going to create our own pipes and then we will use them in our code. A simple, not that complex, but that will work. Third image, and that's the output of using date pipe operator. Okay, here it goes. Let's move it a little bit down. Okay, fine. Okay, next paint for creating your own pipe operator. This is required sometimes because think about, we have to do perform some kind of operations. So how we can do that? How you can create your own custom pipes? So let's do that. Again, it's not that tough, quite straightforward, to the point, and you will get your operations working. So you can use it multiple times. That's the whole purpose of using pipes. So write it once and then you can use it and use it in multiple places without repeating the code. We call that repeating the boilerplate codes. Okay, so the topic is custom pipes. So first step is, okay, let's write what we are going to do. First of all, what is going? Okay, so first we have to make the custom pipe, and obviously by using command, then apply the custom pipe. And let's do this first. We are going to create custom pipe by using command. So command is quite simple, like we did earlier. So we'll say ng, g for generate. Let me write it again. Generate pipe, and then obviously the pipe name. Or you can simply go for ng generate p for pipe with a typo, and then pipe name. So definitely we'll pick the later one which has shortened things. So let's create that pipeline, not pipeline. Let's create this pipe in project, stopping the server of Angular, and I'll use the same page. Okay, I'm not going to create. I'll use this pipe operator on this page, but for to create a pipe, we have to create a generate pipe, and it will create some new files. So I'll go inside this basics package. So I'll say src um, app basics, and here I'll say ng generate pipe, and let's say um, okay, we'll create one conversion, like converting that amount to something. Okay, so um, currency. Okay, so I'm using currency. uh, um, I hope there's no pipe operator currency. Let's see if we get any errors, we'll change it, but for now I'm calling it currency. So idea is I'll try to convert some amount from one currency to next currency. Where is that? Basics is here, and then we can see currency pipe, and there's a currency pipe TS. And we can see, okay, let me show you the screenshot as well. Then you run this kind of command. It again creates to table, and then update goes in module file. So we will definitely check that as well. So currency pipe, and where it is goes declaration. So let's take a screenshot of this. So screenshot of module file goes this file. Oops. Okay. So this is app dot yes, fine. And what we are looking into this file because of this currency pipe, which is used here in declaration tag. Okay, great. So we have all these information in it. Now how to use it? First of all, we have to uh, you know import certain libraries in our TS file. So basic component, um, there it is, currency pipe TS. So you can see we have already that's how your the file looks like. I should take this as well to show you. When you create a pipe operator, by default Angular gives lots of content in your file. That's your file contents. By default you will get all this information in your file. Okay, here we go, and that's one piece. This is one piece. Okay, so by default we get pipe whose name is currency, and then okay, let me show you the code, not here. So it imports two classes, pipe and pipe transform, then one pipe operator, and this is what server name. So export class currency pipe implements some interface, and it has one by default method transform. Okay, and it takes multiple arguments, value unknown, and then those argument multiple types it can take, and returns null. So we will do some kind of information here, and we'll kind of write some simple logic, not that tough. So here I'll say I will get some number, so that is value here. So I'll say constant, then let's say x equals to argument. So I'm assigning it to here on x. Whatever coming up, I'm assigning it to x of variable, and then I'll say return that value top multiply the x and semicolon. It says value x is here. What's the issue? Values of unknown, value unknown. Okay, it's number type. Fine. It failed to understand what is that. So number type, and what is x? X of type unknown. I mentioned constant. Let's try to. Mm, Oops, that is also maybe because of that. Let's convert this to number, and fine. So we have two things, value and args, all are of number type. Fine. So whatever comes up, I'll say convert to that something something. So now how to use it? Or instead of, let's change it to multiplier. Okay, I just changed the name from currency to multiplier. Okay, but leave it because I have to do multiple change. So I'm calling currency. Just assume that this will happen to that. Okay, now we'll go back to the HTML file, and on its HTML file, let's say currency, this one here. Create one more HR tag. How to use it? Let's say I want to use nh2 tag. This, so that's the, let's say, amount 20. I'll put a operator, pipe up operator, and let currency colon, and I'll pass 100. Okay, so I'm passing one argument with it. So if I execute this code, let's go back. G serve. Okay, now let's see what happens. So currency I just calling, that's the pipe, and it is expecting a number. So I'm just giving one argument. That's what it looks like. See, so what I just did, I gave 20 and the multiply. So the logic says whatever comes up, multiply with the x you are giving as an argument. So what argument I'm giving? 100. So 20 gets multiplied with 100. So it becomes 2000. Or let's make it 5. So 5 multiply 100 becomes 500. It becomes 500. So you can see we are just kind of you instead of this you can write a whole logic for a currency converter, like say we have to convert INR into dollar or pound into dollar or dollar to pound, that think about, and you can write that logic, which is right now I'm just multiplying it. I'm assuming that let's say some currency is 5 and then some way it becomes 100 times. So instead of just multiplying it, you can add the whole logic here and return it. So when you give an amount, it will convert it into the expected one. So for this to work, what we did, as I said, it's not going to be that tough. Just takes a steps like how we can start working with the classes. So very first class was create a pipe and it will give you this kind of example, which is actually a class, and it has a method coming from pipe transform interface where you have to write logic inside a transform method. So it takes some argument. So I'm just using the first one, this the number, and it goes here, and then in HTML file we use it like this way. It goes, and there it is. So I'm using 5 and 20, so give it different scenarios. So if I go this way, it gives you 1000. If I make it 5, it gives 500. Okay, and what if I am not using any variable? Just pass this file saved and see what it's giving, nan, because as per our logic we are expecting something is coming, only then we are applying
Yeah.
that multiplication logic. So with this pipe we made it mandatory that if you are using this currency you have to pass variable as well, 100. Like I have used date and then full date. Likewise we have passed currency and then gave the variable. Okay,
Yeah.
so we just did some pipe operators, how we can use existing pipe operators, and if you want to create your own, you just have to generate it through that generate command, and it will give us this structure, name it anything what you want, and the logic, the whole pipe logic will goes here, right? And that's how we can proceed. So that's it for Angular. I don't, I mean, see again, there are lots of topic in Angular which we can cover, which I haven't yet right now. I don't think it's required, but whatever we did, it is required to understand how we can write a simple class in Angular, how to use that class in class and its variable in HTML file. We have also learned how to create APIs. That was the whole target, to learn the API, to understand how we can trigger API from front end to back end. And we have done all the CRUD operations.
Yeah.
So in next class, we will start learning HTML, CSS, and then we might try to create one more Angular project which will be all about just one page, and that will do all the code operation on single page.